Hi, this is Tiffany with Tiffany Johnson Creative. I've got a fun mixed media project for you today, and we're going to start out with some black and white collage paper. So I've got a few varieties here, some gel print, sheet music, my matte medium, and a little silicone spatula to spread it out with. And I'm just working on some watercolor paper because it's going to take all that glue and moisture with no problem at all. And it's nice and thick and sturdy. Now, welcome to our spring celebration YouTube hop. I hope you've been enjoying everything you've seen so far. And don't forget, after you've watched this video and hopefully enjoyed every minute of it, be sure and click on the next link for the video to come. There's 6 awesome artists in this YouTube hop, and you don't want to miss any of their videos. And there's also a giveaway, so make sure you look at the details for that and watch everyone's amazing projects, and I know you're going to really enjoy everything you see. So what I'm doing here is just tearing out some of the black and white collage paper. I've got some gel prints, like I said. If you want to see how I made those, you can watch my last YouTube video. It's on my channel here, so there's lots of fun ones there. And I've also got some sheet music, some book pages, and things like that. So I'm not putting a whole lot of thought into where these are going, except that I'm trying to vary the weight of the lines. So I've got some big prints, some small prints, some text, and some more organic type of shapes. So we're just spreading them around a little bit because this is my bottom layer. So the great thing about mixed media is, one, you get to use all the things, right? And then on top of it, you can build in layers. So right now we're just building our bottom layer. We don't have to worry about it too much, but it's going to be a great foundation that's going to peek through by the end of our project. So you see, I've got this sped up pretty fast because I'm literally just tearing and gluing and tearing and gluing. I'm using that matte medium as my base and my adhesive. It will go on white and dry clear. Here I'm giving it a really good dry, and I put that on the bottom. You don't want to be stingy with it at all. Make sure you put plenty down so there's no air bubbles. And then I'm spreading a layer on top as well with that little silicone brush, and making sure that everything is nice and flat and smooth. And now I'm grabbing some acrylic ink. I have these fun spring colors. This is a turquoise ink. And you see I've got a little mister bottle with some water we're going to spray on there. The fun thing with that matte medium too is it gives us a little more time to play with what's on top of it so it doesn't soak into the paper. So you see I'm just tilting it, spreading it around a little bit. It's all about the playtime with these type of projects. Having fun, letting the materials do what they do, and just seeing what happens and what develops and evolves out of it. The beautiful thing about all those layers is if you get to a place where you're not really thrilled with it, no problem. There's always a messy middle. You just need to add another layer. I'm blotting up some of that excess ink with a paper towel, and honestly, I get a little into some of the little prints that it's making, and I had a lot of fun with that. So again, giving it a good dry. I've got my Ranger heat tool. You could absolutely use a hair dryer, anything like that, or you could just wait and work on your patience levels. But this would be a really slow video if I did that. So now I'm coming in with some yellow acrylic ink and some pink acrylic ink. I'm going to pop out those little flower shapes that came out of my collage in the background. And again, adding a little water, spreading it around with a brush, and just playing, honestly. You'll notice from here until the end of the video, these flowers and I go back and forth quite a bit. But that's okay. It's all part of the layers, part of the development, and honestly, just part of the fun and the playtime. There I'm adding a little bit more yellow, blotting it up before it runs away too far, and then trying to add a little splatter. It didn't work with the dropper, so I got a brush and dipped it straight in a little pile of ink right there. Okay, when in doubt, a little splatter for me adds a lot of interest. There goes my ink, trying to run away just a little more. So you'll notice as this is drying, probably because of the matte medium and all the blotting, my pink gets a little dull. So that's why you notice I try and pop it up towards the end and spend a little extra time on it. I've got some bubble wrap now dipped in white gesso. Again, more layers, more texture, more contrast. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but I've got a little bit of that turquoise ink added into my gesso to make it just a little light shade of blue. Again, just a little more interest. Some Stabilo woodies on the side there. Those are water-soluble, chunky wooden crayons that are super fun. So I'm just doodling some shapes that might be kind of like a leaves or stems, or whatever doodles. Again, just having some fun with it, playing around. Now the great things about these, they come in lots of colors. You can use them as they are, you can rub them dry with your fingers, or you can see here I decided to add some water to them and spread them around. Part of that's getting me a little darker green at the bottom. They're really versatile and honestly just super fun to play with. That dryer is getting a workout on this project, and that is okay. So again, some blotting up a little bit of the extra, making sure we have a dry layer before we come back. So now I'm breaking out this black paint pen and going over those lines, and that paper towel is there because I did not love what happened. But that's okay. We're just going to add another layer. More pink ink on the top, back and forth, back to the yellow ink. Again, that black was just a little too much for me. It didn't really have the effect that I wanted, but it's the beautiful thing about paint. You just add more, cover it up. Now I've got my yellow Stabilo woody. Now you see it's really bright right there because I also had my heat tool in my hand, so it was actually melting at the same time. So that was a fun experiment. And again, back and forth with the woodies, trying to get those flowers to pop out a little bit more. Lots of scribbles, bringing the black one in for a little bit more highlight. That for me is a more pleasing look than the paint pen was. And now I've got my white paint pen, so we're going to add some dots and some doodles and some fun lines. And you see at the bottom there, I've got some kind of leaves and organic shapes. And I just hold the paint pen really loosely in my hand. I'm not trying to trace outlines. I'm not trying to do anything really precise, just having fun and letting it flow. And it gives it a whole nother level of contrast and interest once you see all those white lines and dots appear. You'll see again, back to the splatter, I've got a little bit of that lime green on my paintbrush. And with acrylic inks, they're so much fun because once they're dry like this, they don't reactivate. So you have a lot of versatility, somewhat like watercolor, super pigmented, but then they are permanent. So look at all this fun textures, everything going on in there. And I couldn't help myself. I found a pink Neocolor because I didn't have a pink Stabilo to pop that pink flower just a little more. So that's the ending touch, the pink and the yellow. And there's an even closer view. I hope this inspires you and encourages you to get out your supplies, whatever you have, and just play and have fun. Enjoy the colors of spring and the joy that comes with it. So if you enjoyed this, I hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel, and be sure and check the link below for the next YouTube video in our spring celebration hop. Have a great day and keep creating.